Should we just jump into it?
Let's just jump into it. Or wait, do you need something for the opening? We got to say something funny or something? Or?
I think
That's funny.
You just did.
It's pretty funny.
Okay,
You just did.
right.
Primarily critical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical. If movies had an after party, this would be it.
If you have not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
Because we got spoilers, trivia, and opinions like crazy. And we can't wait to share them.
Yes, good, bad, new, old, weird, or gross.
We pass judgment on them all.
Today, if your last name is Donnelly, you'll die twice. My name is Steve. I'm here with
John.
and
I'm Phil.
today we're talking about Far and Away.
Or as I like to call it, one long-ass movie.
A long-ass movie, eh?
Did
you find it long?
That was your impression? I knew what I was getting into. I knew this is an epic.
Yeah. You've seen this one before?
Yes and no. I know it's been on TV more than a few times since 1992 when it was released.
It's an old movie now, right? So
Yeah. You've seen it before?
I do believe I did. Yeah, and I don't recall liking it back then.
Yeah.
And now,
I thought it was delightful.
it's a pleasant.
I like this movie. I saw this in the theater.
Yeah.
When it
It
came
was your
out.
pick, by the way.
It was my pick. I saw it in the theater, and back when what year was this? In,
92.
1992. Yeah.
92, yeah.
Gotta say, Cruz always puts in a great performance. He's always, it's always worth watching him, it seems.
Yeah.
And at the time, Nicole Kidman and him were married, right?
I believe so.
Were they?
Interesting side note.
Well, there was
Did they get married after the movie? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
but
after Days of Thunder, they met on Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder, and I think that
You could look it
preceded
up,
this
all
movie.
you
We could.
fans of Cruise and such.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the director, Ron Howard, from Happy
Yeah,
Days, and he did Splash.
Richie Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? In all Ron Howard movies,
Yes.
his brother shows up. I think his name's Cliff Howard. He was the manager or the boss of the chicken slaughter factory.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's
Oh,
always
no
in
way.
his,
Yeah.
he's always in his movies. Yeah, he's got a bit part.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Such an ugly man. I mean,
I didn't know that was a Howard.
Yeah, he's a peculiar looking guy,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a nice movie for me. Felt long, but like, maybe did it feel long that they had to
They
spend
had a
so
lot
much?
to tell.
Yeah, true.
I don't think there was very much wasted time.
Yeah, I
No,
didn't
but-
feel draggy would not be the word I would use at
No?
all for this. No.
Didn't you think during the time they were in Boston, right? They were a little draggy to me there. It was fun because he was into brawling and making money that way.
Yeah.
But then I felt like at the end of the movie we got cheated. It ended so abruptly. It's like they finally planted their flag and that's it. I was kind of hoping we get 10 years later with the kid on the beautiful ranch or farm. And
Well, it sounds like you didn't want this movie to end. Even you complained how long it was. Now you're wanting more.
Well,
you
I
know?
felt like it just felt
can't make you happy,
abrupt.
Phil.
I know, Steve, but it felt abrupt ending. It just did. I don't know. That's my opinion. But
It's like,
guys,
did I hold over 2 hours? But I want 10 years later.
I want 10 years later.
Okay. Tom Cruise's character, what's his name?
Joseph.
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 As his house gets burned down after his dad dies, and he goes and he gets this gun, this ancient gun from his buddy,
It's really silly. You just knew that gun wasn't going to work.
and he says, and he goes through all these troubles. At some point, he says, "This is a difficult murder." Doesn't he say that?
Yeah,
I thought
that's
that
right,
line was really funny.
That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But I was going to ask if you could predict whether the gun was going to blow up.
Clearly.
And
You think maybe he would have cleaned it up or whatever, tried to, but no, it was like a rusted out relic from some war, forgotten war.
I know.
It's like,
just
come
awful.
on, man. And
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, what I liked about those movies that I felt like it was a really what you'd call a well-rounded movie. I mean, you had your moments of comedy, which I thought they're really good comedy. Like,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
just,
a lot of humor, but it was
yeah.
realistic enough that it didn't get silly like a Monty Python.
That's
or
right,
something.
and there was good action in it. Lots of good action scenes. Right, there was.
Yeah.
I mean,
The fighting was fun.
yeah,
I had a bone to pick with at the end of the movie. They're all racing out, hundreds of these people. some on foot, some on to plant their flag on their piece of property. But there's there's people in horse and buggy, and
that's how it was done, though.
Really,
the Oklahoma. If you see the actual pictures of the Oklahoma land races, you'll see people with horses and buggy behind it. Yeah. Now, we were wondering, why would they do that? Right? This seems so inefficient to be hauling your whole buggy with you. Right?
Yeah.
Why? But if you look at the pictures, I don't know why. I don't have the. I'm sorry, I don't have the answer. But if you see
these wagons are crashing all over the place.
Yeah.
They're clearly not built for this kind of.
Falling off.
They're not built for this off-road shit, and some of those people never probably went that fast in their life on these things. These are meant to be moseying down the trail.
Yeah.
And they're booking it, and they're all blowing up. There's people shooting each other out in the fields.
Well, this is one of the theories I had. Is that okay? If you're just going to go on a horse by yourself to claim a piece of land, you might not be able to have enough with you to like hold it. You know what I mean? Someone just say, "Fuck, no one's around. It's just this guy and his horse. I'll shoot him and bury him, whatever." But if you come in there with a horse and buggy and everybody, it's a lot harder for somebody to come along and just shoot you and take it. You know what I mean? So maybe that's the thinking behind that. I don't know.
But her parents, like totally
cheated.
Yeah. But there was that opening scene when they're all rushing, and right away a guy jumps the gun and tries to cheat. He gets shot. So, like, they were not kidding around here.
No, they were
the Wild West, man.
And Frontier was a real deal.
Yeah.
But, of course, Cruz has to be Mr. Heroic. He's just giving her on this stallion. He's just booting it past everyone. It's like,
well, that horse had a lot of energy to burn.
Yeah.
I actually heard that Tom Cruise did all the horse riding himself.
Well, it looked legit. Yeah. You got to remember, this is before the CGI business that seems to be all over movies now. You can't tell what's real or fake anymore.
Yeah.
Back then, it was the real deal. Wow.
See, even back then, Tom Cruise was kind of a daredevil a bit.
Yeah.
He gives her 150% and everything, right? It's pretty,
and there was actually scenes
impressive.
with Nicole Kidman where you could actually see the stunt double on the horse. Like you could go, oh, that's you just for a second there, you could tell it wasn't her, right?
It looked dangerous, man. Like that kind of horse riding. I haven't done very limited horseback riding, but full tilt with a horse to that kind of terrain. There's the scenes where they're going down that embankment to that creek or whatever. That looked dangerous.
That was crazy. That was a crazy.
And that was legitimately Cruz going down there.
Apparently, that's what I heard. Anyway, that's
That's commitment.
All right. Daniel Christie.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie, he's the bad guy.
The
landlord.
Yes.
Well, he's the minion for the landlord. No, you're talking about the old guy.
The old guy.
Oh,
he's
the
father.
Right.
He's the father in.
Yeah.
Well, we're suspecting him to be in law, but
right.
Shannon's dad, Daniel Christie, he's the bad guy, right? So he goes.
You presume.
You presume he's got these goons that go out and they burn houses.
That's Stephen Chase. Steve and
Stefan Hochner
and so Joseph.
Criminal Minds actor.
Yeah. Joseph doesn't even blame Steve for burning his house. He hears about Daniel Christie and he's gonna go and murder Daniel Christie.
That's right.
He finds Daniel Christie and this guy is he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
He's a likable guy, right?
Yeah. I don't know that he knew what he never seemed to be in the dirty business of dealing with it.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He had his guys to handle that. Yeah. And when he did see what they were doing, he felt terrible about it. Right. And he turns out to be not a bad guy after all.
He's probably just an heir. It's someone that had wealth in the family.
Right.
Yeah.
And he has people that handle everything for him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
he's
they
like
look after
American
his
royalty
affairs.
or whatever. Well, no, he was Irish royalty.
Basically.
But then they lose their house because the public get all pissed off at him.
Yeah.
And they burn his house down.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell from this, even behind the masks, that there was his Joseph's townfolk.
Yeah, because they said Captain Moonlight, right?
Yeah.
When they were throwing something through the window, right?
Well, that's what people did back then when they got pissed off. They just went right to the source, right? They were right to the politicians' houses and shit. Or the wealthy people.
Yeah, but Daniel Christie even says, this land, it takes care of itself. And I just kind of, you know, my whole life is dealing with my wife.
You said, he didn't deal with the mundane or terrible parts of his job. Which leads us to, I guess, a comment on Stephen Chase. the bad guy, the suitor to the Nicole Kidman's character.
Right.
They were supposed to get married. My goodness, was he supposed to be trying to do an Irish accent?
That's true.
The actor,
He certainly
Thomas
came across
Gibson.
as still British sounding, right?
Oh, he didn't. If he was trying to be British or trying to be Irish, he was terrible at it. And I made a note of that. Terrible Irish accent.
Yeah.
And he
Really? I didn't notice.
I just noticed.
Well, he still had his normal British accent that he always.
No, he's American. Isn't he American?
Is he American?
Actor? You might know him from Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
And he was young.
Dharma and Greg, he was in that.
Was he?
Yeah, he was Greg and Dharma and Greg.
Okay, I'm not sure.
I thought he had a British accent, but maybe not. I don't know.
Anyways,
okay,
terrible accent. If he was trying to pull
agree.
off an Irish accent.
I couldn't stop looking at his mustache.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even hear his voice.
That's one of the things that always takes me out of the movie realism, and
Yeah.
it's like, remember Robin Hood, the version they did with
Kevin Costner?
yes,
Yes.
he didn't even try, man. He's just
No.
some American guy in the British countryside in
Yeah.
the Sherwood Forest.
Oh, yeah, and then they had Christopher Slater in there. And
he tried.
And he actually said when they catapulted the guys over the wall, he goes, "Fuck me, they cleared it." It's like they actually left that in the movie, right? Like
yeah, but it just bugs me when they're trying to do a period piece and they're trying to be legit Irish.
Yeah.
At least Cruise had fun with the accent. He's a solid guy, right? He's down.
He pulled it off. I thought he
Mostly,
did.
yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
you know,
That's just a bone to pick, but
all right. Fair enough. Now, was this a chick flick?
oh, probably. How many shots of asses and male the bull covering his penis there for like a long?
Does that make it a chick flick?
And she's like, they're both oogling each other.
Yeah,
right?
we get some side boob.
Yeah.
But there's a scene. It was kind of. It's funny. She's like peeking under the bowl, and he's out cold, right? A couple times.
Well,
Now, if you flip the script and the guy was doing that to the woman, I don't know. We'd be up in arms now.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't be good.
We wouldn't be doing that.
No.
Oh.
It's okay when the Irish
Sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So they catch Joseph in the house of Daniel Christie. They lock him in a room.
Yeah.
Right? And he punches his way through the door.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, John once told me about old doors. Old doors are made of solid wood.
Yeah, it's
There's
true.
no way you could do that.
No.
That's totally unrealistic.
Unrealistic, yeah.
Totally unrealistic. But that's all I have to say about that.
unrealistic. The way he's constantly fighting, getting punched in the head nightly. Although he does a good job of dodging punches and so on. But man, come on, how much abuse you got to take before you're just nothing left of your brain anyways doing that hockey.
Yeah, but they used to do that all the time.
It was maybe.
How long was he fighting?
Bare knuckle fist fighting too. No, you'd get a couple punches to the teeth after a while. You got no knuckles after a while.
Yeah, I mean, what is this though? The timeline of his fighting, because he did that initially when he shows up there. He has the fight.
Yeah.
But then it seems like there's a hiatus there. He also is working at the chicken place, right?
He does that, and he finds out he could be fighting and making more money.
Well, it's like he got sexually frustrated.
He was sexually
frustrated, and he what did what's that prostitute's name? She said he had a gun that Grace.
I don't think she was a prostitute
or a dancer or whatever.
Officially.
Yeah.
She was,
probably.
But
fair weather.
She said something like he had a gun that needed to explode or something like that.
Oh, there's
but
sexual innuendo all over the place.
So he's sexually frustrated. So he has to do something. He's got this sexual tension going on with Shannon in the same room.
Shannon's not going to help him out.
Shannon's no, and she even made it worse. She's like teases him by saying, "Do you think I'm beautiful?" And then, okay, thanks, good night. And
so what you're saying? This is what led to
pushed
the fight.
Him. Yeah,
being a
so he goes
brawler.
and fights. Now, from there, he has an extremely successful night. That's his first night. He goes out there, extremely successful night. He comes back bruised. Now, then I can't remember how many days, but there's a talk. There's soon the talk of the Italian coming comes. I don't know if he did, but they do show that they kind of skip some time. He's got the hat. He's got
he starts living the life of like a kind of a
savings.
a celebrity of the day or the town. Like everybody knew him.
But we don't get a sense of if it is every day, right? If
No,
this is, you know, is he fighting every day? I don't know.
But the big fight he has against the Italian was interesting. He ends up losing.
Well,
He loses all his money.
this banker or whatever he is, says, "I'm going to give you $100
I was gonna cheat him as
to win the fight," and then the other guy says, "I'm going to double it.
Yeah.
He's going to get $200 for winning this fight." And then what do? They hit on his sister, which they know it bothers him.
Right. Idiots. Like, you guys are so stupid, right?
Well, that's the drama of it all, right?
Yeah.
I knew he was going.
We can say to ourselves that maybe these guys were drunk.
That's why I felt like that segment of the movie the whole time in Boston felt long. When I wish they would have showed us more of the.
All right.
payoff.
So let's be. What would you like them to take out of the Boston part? What
Just
parts did you
condense it
not
a bit
like?
more.
Just condense it.
Yeah, you know,
Just
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
a little bit.
I don't know. I thought the
It was,
whole thing
but it was all.
they're
It
staying
was
in a
all kind of
whorehouse.
cool to
They're
watch
talking-
immigrants come
Yeah.
from
Shannon
Ireland.
got drunk and.
Yeah, it was fun to watch the Ireland aspect when they were back in the homeland. A crazy place that he grew up in, like by the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's on a
I know.
it's on a cliff or the side of a. And he's trying to farm this land. It's like hopeless.
His brothers, this
His
first scene of his brothers, I thought was hilarious. They
shitheads.
show the brother getting up. He's like laying there drunk, and he's like, half his eyes are like his hair is messed up, and he's like, "Look at our brother, can't keep a hold of his ass," and just the look on his face is just priceless. Like,
And to your you'll die twice. The beginning of the movie, his father has like a false death, comes back.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was watching this with my wife, and she's like really thinking, "Oh, he really dies." When he hits his head at the very end of the movie, I'm like, "No, he didn't die." They do
But
that
they did
pan
it
up,
good.
they go up,
Yeah,
you know, as if
yeah.
he's going to heaven and looking down, and then comes back, and then,
Did you catch what made him come back?
something she said.
Yeah.
she said, "I love you."
Oh,
No.
Oh,
Because she's been refusing to say anything positive at all.
yeah.
but it's important to note that she is the reason why he gets through all this, because she could have turned him in back at the father's estate and all that. She could have didn't want anything to do with this guy, but she sensed already that this was like a nice, fine gentleman who stood up for his family, or
Yeah.
he was being wronged. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
What did Steve do wrong?
Steven?
Yeah, Stephen Chase.
He's an asshole.
He was well. I mean, he was
Why
doing
was
his
he an asshole?
He didn't have to burn their house down.
Yeah, and he
didn't
just had a pompous, arrogant way about him. I mean, it's just it was like the what I couldn't stand about him is how he totally expected Shannon. He didn't recognize Shannon's spirit. Shannon was she wanted to play rock and roll, modern music, right?
That was kind of funny, eh?
She had a spunkiness to her, right?
Right.
And he just kept on trying to, no, Shannon. He's like, and he's trying to keep her. That just irritates the hell out of me. I can't stand when because I like people that are lively and interesting, right?
It was a trophy wife, right? Where this is how my life is going to go. I'm going to probably inherit your family's wealth because I'm now marrying into your family.
Exactly. And my thought is go find someone, a girl that is on board with that life. But she's clearly not, and you're trying to make her, and that's why I think
because he's eyeing up the prize of seeing the wealthiest person in the land or something.
Yeah.
Got to get my claws into that family or whatever. So he was definitely the bad guy, right? So
I didn't find anything particularly damning about him. He definitely burned that house down, but he could have been doing that because everybody before him did that, right? He could have been told to do that.
Well,
Right?
he could be just doing his job in line of duty, I guess.
Yeah.
He seemed to enjoy the job too much, or he just
There's
came
that
off
too.
as, like you said, he wanted to.
He said, "I burned many houses in the line of duty, and I
With his terrible-
especially enjoyed burning yours," or something like
and
that.
his terrible accent just.
Yeah.
Oh. Oi.
Well, when they were doing the land race, he was following the rules, and his boss
Fucking
was
what
not.
rules?
Yeah.
What rules? It seemed like complete
Well,
utter
there was, you know,
chaos.
it was archaic, but there were some basic rules.
There were
that
some
everyone-
basic rules. You don't cross the line, Phil.
Yeah.
You don't.
Right, you know what? To me, all these people are just gangbusters racing out. Did they pre?
Yeah, you get time to go out and look around, and I get an
see.
idea where you
Yeah,
want, and
'cause-
then you have to wait for the race.
I don't think they were allowed to.
No, I thought
Oh
they
yeah,
did.
because he says, "I've been shot at, Laura."
I've been shot, right? And he says, no, actually, I was shot at.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I found the perfect little plot of land.
that's right.
That's
You're
crazy,
right, yeah.
and to think that this was a real thing that went on.
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about that. That
Yeah,
was the.
well, if you
It's just nuts.
If you guys can find something to talk about, I'll get a picture up
Oh.
of one of the Oklahoma land races here.
Well, I don't know. I had Tom Cruise doesn't always sit that well with me.
No,
No, but I did like this movie. I found this movie delightful. Like I said,
I have to. To that note, I didn't have good impression of this movie from way back.
yeah,
I think I liked it, appreciated it more this time around.
yeah.
Yeah. And here's another note. Did you guys notice that they got John Williams to do the music for this? And John Williams is famous for doing Indiana Jones, all the big ones.
John Williams
all-
is a
Star Wars
legend.
too, right?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you guys, can you actually recall any, do you think this was a good score or music to this movie? I didn't think it was.
I liked it. I really liked the.
Usually, like, it stands out and it's really epic, but I don't know. It just didn't really.
I liked that they did the Irish flavor to it. Like they had a
Yeah.
lot of the Irish whistles in there
You
and
have
stuff,
to,
and yeah. So I mean, yeah, it didn't have that typical
Maybe,
John Williams epic,
yeah.
orchestra.
He usually doesn't fail. He did, like, E.T. He's done all the big ones. He's just the king of movie music. But
I was. I remember the music well enough to know it was good.
oh, you show that to the camera. They're never
shit.
gonna see it.
You'll never see it.
They'll
Can you
never
zoom
see it.
in? You can zoom in.
Okay,
We're
so
looking
John's
at
showing me a picture of
as an illustration
of the land
uh,
races,
Yeah.
land races.
and
Here's one where it looks a lot largely horses, but if you look far enough in there, you can see there's buggies in there and stuff too.
Yeah, well, they made a note of showing you on the movie. They had all these photographers lined up taking pictures of the start of it, right? Back in the flash bulb exploding technology, whatever.
yeah.
So yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild, man.
Crazy times.
I'm sure it was.
I'm glad I wasn't
I
around
loved
living that.
One of the things I love about this movie is that I love that whole concept that once upon a time there was a frontier. I always love movies where there is a frontier because I think how exciting would that be, And
It was tough.
what makes this one extra special is that not only is there a frontier, but you can just go out and have land if you can just claim
If you're willing to do the hard work, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like what Tom Cruise's Joseph's character.
what he was saying.
He's willing to get down, and he showed it throughout the movie. He was doing tough fighting to make money. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just because he didn't want to go at first.
Yeah.
but Shannon dragged him out there, and he's like,
With the
"I
promise
asked
of
for a job, I got a job. I asked
Yeah.
for a house, I got a house.
Yeah.
If I want land, I just have to go there."
Yeah. And this movie reminded me of Buster Scruggs.
Okay.
In the same kind of frontier movies, the rough cowboy aesthetic. And they did in the Buster Scruggs movie. They did that the trail with all those people trying to move as a group, right?
yeah.
Trying to fend off the Indians of the day. So it was a tough time, and this is another story of that.
Yeah,
Frontier
that
life.
era, yeah.
An immigrant angle was cool. Watching like Boston must have been a real point of entry into the New World
Yeah.
Oh,
for the
definitely.
Irish, right? And they St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and so Boston's a big hub, I guess, of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Do you want to get into this trivia?
I just want to say one more thing.
Oh, sure.
The comedy. There were certain things that one of my favorites was that their horse was the oldest horse I've ever seen. You know, I thought that was great. That was a priceless thing because he's the guy that sells it to him. He's like, I would take the broken horse. You know, and
Because it dies, right?
it dies. It was like
So all the horse scenes. My wife's ultra like pet animal lover.
yeah.
She's like she's worried about these horses constantly. I'm like, it's make believe. I hope so because a lot of horses in the derby scene.
Yeah.
It's not dying, falling left, right, and center. It's just chaos. I would rewatch that and that part just for that. It was crazy. But I guess the payoff was huge. Like you got land, you got to start, right? And that was the promise.
Yeah.
Man, if they would do that today, that'd be nuts.
Oh, but wouldn't you be there today? I mean, 160 acres, and you just go grab it. Fuck it! Sign me up now, man.
Maybe that'll happen when the climate change reaches a critical point where we have to go further north. And it'll be another one.
Arctic. They're stabbing their thing in a glacier.
Trying to get a chunk of land.
Oh no, with the internet,
not too hot.
8 billion people on the world, no.
Yeah, no one's giving land up for free anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We're losing land, apparently. We're going to lose coastal land. Is going to go underwater slowly. Yeah, it's not looking good, guys.
No.
Not looking good. Yeah, we need to protect our environment.
Well,
Yes.
back then, they had land to spare. They're giving it away
Yeah.
just to settle North America.
Yep.
The frontier.
All right.
Trivia.
Director Ron Howard wasn't happy with Nicole Kidman's facial expressions during the shooting scene of Tom Cruise and the bowl.
The bowl lifting thing.
The bowl lifting thing. Anyway, without telling Kidman, he asked Cruise to remove his underwear. Howard got exactly the reaction he wanted, and it appeared in the film.
I thought it was a great reaction. Like I looked at that scene.
She was expecting to look at a merkin.
Yeah.
Or
something.
Underwear.
Yeah.
She was
American.
A pretty small, skimpy pair of underwear because they did show the side of his.
Yeah. Merkin is pubic hair, man. It has nothing to
But
do.
it's fake, so it's covering.
Don't try to drag
Stop
Merkin
it.
into this, man.
You're trying to drag.
I gotta spice it up. Okay. She was expecting not to see
his ding dong.
his junior, his cruise,
Yeah.
his little cruise missile.
And and so he got exactly what he wanted.
Side note, you know, how do they do it? Like using special effects or trickery. Tom Cruise is nowhere near as tall as Nicole Kidman, but yet they line up eye to eye.
Sometimes, yeah. I think they would use.
He's using man stilts or
boots
apple boxes. Or
special boots that make
special
him
crates they has to stand on. Anyways, that's a side note.
stiletto heels.
Maybe she's like crouching a little bit. I don't know.
Well, the reaction of the Great Land Rush involved 800 extras, 400 horses, and 200 wagons. The extras were all recruited from a reenactment society called the Reenactors.
Wow,
That's fun.
wow, that's original. What a nifty name they got.
Yeah, what are we going to call this reenactment? I got it, the
The
Reenactors.
reenactors.
Brilliant,
Wow.
Steve.
Yeah.
They did a good job though. I thought it was wild.
That explains it.
Yeah.
Then they all got
Good
got
times,
it, right?
good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was one of those guys that ran out ahead and got shot.
Shot, yeah. So there's one less reenactor now.
Yeah. I think they just tried to set the tone. We're not fooling around here, people. When we tell you go, we mean go, and not a minute before.
That's right. The dress that Shannon admires in the shop window in Boston is one of the dresses worn by Clara Clayton in the last scene of Back to the Future Part 3.
Wow. That's some trivia.
Wow. Clara Clayton. I don't remember Back to the Future Part 3 that well. I know the first one very well.
It was the end. It was the excuse my language. It was the chick that Doc Brown ended up with. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Doc Brown. That was kind of like he goes back in time.
Yeah. The first movie, Marty gets a girl. Second movie,
They go into the future.
It's about their kids, I think.
it's about their kids. In the third movie, Doc Brown gets a girl.
But
That's the Wild West one.
He gets trapped. Doc
Yeah.
gets trapped back in the past, and he has to figure out MacGyver a train that's going to get up to speed to get back into the future.
Yes, right.
Awesome trilogy. One of the best trilogies.
It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
In
So I
Canada,
guess
anyway.
We're getting off topic.
I guess what this would say though that would be around the same time that the fact like this was released in '92, Back to the Future Part 3 probably somewhere around there.
Yeah,
I think it was a Ron Howard movie.
They shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they were both from Ron Howard movies.
Oh.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
No.
he's-
Zemeckis was all through three movies. They actually shot Back to the Future 2 and 3 together back in the same time.
Really?
Yeah, it's done a lot now. Like Lord of the Rings was.
I
done
know
that
they
way.
did. They did Lord of the Rings.
But it
all
makes
together.
sense because they get all the props and the actors together and they just bang it out, right? Robert Zemeckis was.
I'm sorry,
Back to
my
the
bad.
Future.
No
I
worries,
don't mean
man.
to insult Robert.
We've given wrong information, and I've done that.
By no
many
means, I
times
think
before.
we're like the Bible at which you
Yeah.
get your information from. We barely can pronounce half these.
So Back to the
guys'
Future Part 3
names.
was in 1990. So
yeah.
this is, comes out 2 years later. You can see easily that this was in the Hollywood sets at the time, and why not, right?
Yeah, it was just part of the props.
A lot of the
in circulation.
Western movies, they had props or towns that are made that they used for various movies because that's what you did, right?
Yeah, they reuse stuff all the time.
Yeah. Who's
No,
next?
wait.
You got another.
3 of Ron Howard's great-grandparents actually rode in the Great Land Rush of 1893, as depicted in the film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Now, now, is Ron Howard Irish? Doesn't sound like an Irish name, but
Maybe. That'd be interesting to look that up.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe this whole story hits closer to home. I mean, of course, I'm sure he did meet a girl named Shannon. And, but,
To that note, I've heard
Lost the landlord.
the whole testing of your DNA and the genetics, or to find out your family history, family tree,
yeah.
is very accurate. They get
Oh, I
the
know.
obvious things right,
Yep.
and you probably knew that. You probably had a good idea. But when they get to specific things, they get it wildly off.
Yeah, because you saw that
Right?
whole article where
Yeah.
they took 4 different places that do this,
Yeah.
and they compared them. And one place said you're 60% Italian, another place said it wasn't even lining up.
Really?
Yeah.
And so people go out there thinking, oh yeah, I'm of Irish descent. And
Yeah.
maybe you're way off. Like maybe you're from Norway or Icelandic. Yeah, that kind of thing, right?
Really?
Really?
Now, he was not, well, actually, I don't know if he's Irish, but he was born in Oklahoma.
Ron
Howard, yeah. So which makes sense that if his parents or grandparents
Yeah,
participated
totally.
in that.
That's
yeah.
a fun fact. And maybe
Yeah.
he
It is.
really wanted to make a movie about that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe
But
this is a long time coming.
Maybe this was his pet project or something.
Yeah, could be.
It was a nice movie. My overall takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, well-rounded too. I like it. I thought there's lots of elements going on there. Lots for you can. It's a great date movie
Yeah,
because there's enough romance in there
Yeah.
that the ladies are going to love that. And there's enough action for the guys that like that fighting and stuff. I mean, there's a lot to appeal to, and the humor too. The humor is top notch. I feel like there's some of the funniest shit in there.
And I think my wife actually liked it more than I did, and I think she was dreading it. I think we have this thing. You see the running time, and like, oh, this is 2.5 hours. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
I think she really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah.
My wife really loved a movie called Legend of the Fall.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really wanted Sherry to watch this with me because I knew it was somewhere along the same line.
Yeah.
She didn't.
Uh-huh.
But
You said
if you like Legend of the Fall, you'd like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar feels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of feels.
Mm-hmm.
I think Legend of the
Oh,
Fall.
bad
So
English,
many
I know,
feels.
but-
Legend of
No,
the Fall was more
not
of
making fun.
more of a gritty, serious piece.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was more. This was a lot lighter than Legends.
Lighter.
Of the Fall.
It had some bite to it and realism.
That's
Except
right.
for the realism of the Thomas Gibson's accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Cruise, he's solid.
Yeah, you can always count on him to do.
Count on him
Yeah.
to pull it up.
Yeah, you can count on him to do
Show off
whatever
his
it is.
penis. It's necessary.
We've ever, as much
Show
as
off-
people like to hate on Cruise, and there's lots of good reasons, Scientology and all that
We don't have
madness.
to get
right?
into that. He gets in front of the camera, he gives it all, and it always.
I dare someone to say a movie that he did badly in. I've heard Risky Business, but I've never seen. I've heard that.
No?
But I don't know.
Let's pick down the road.
I can't name a movie that he's done badly.
Yeah.
He's done badly, but I can name a movie
That's bad.
that I didn't like or that's bad.
Yeah.
But it's not because of him.
No.
No. Apparently, The Mummy was a
Yeah.
No, I never saw that one.
No.
No.
It was supposed to be the tentpole to start all the monster movies over again. Like The Mummy was going to be the first one. They were going to Frankenstein. They were going to do all the dark.
They were planning
classic.
on doing a big
Yeah,
franchise.
right.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
kind of tanked. It did.
They wanted to do a Mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula, and
Dr. Jekyll,
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde,
The Invisible
and
Man.
Then they were gonna have like a combined movie.
Yeah, but it didn't pan out.
Wow.
And that's one of the rare bombs or Tom Cruise has been associated with that didn't work out. He's pretty money.
Yeah.
And his Mission
He's
Impossible,
pretty
his Mission Impossible movies are great. They're epic. They keep topping each other.
Yeah.
Like the latest one was just come on. It was just crazy action scenes, like action movie.
I have to see it.
Yeah. Fallout, I think, was the most recent one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, is that far and away?
I think that's far and away.
Far away.
Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check out primarlycritical.com. We got all our podcasts there ready for you to peruse at your leisure. Like, share, subscribe. We're on YouTube. Am I forgetting anything?
No, I think that covers it.
I think that covers it.
All right.
I think that's it.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye. Bye.
Primarily